Former critic of the Biafra movement, Asari Dokubo, has now expressed regret and is seeking support from pro-Biafra groups. Asari Dokubo, known for his strong stance against Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra movement, was seen publicly emotional and asking for international intervention. Assari Dokubo feels betrayed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whom he previously supported, and now believes Tinubu has failed both him and Nigeria. The Supreme Court's ruling on Rivers State governance has led to political turmoil, affecting Assari Dokubo's position and power in the region. Worsening insecurity in Nigeria, including attacks by armed groups, has caused fear and displacement, even in areas previously unaffected. Religious leaders have warned of impending chaos if Nnamdi Kanu is not released, predicting major unrest. Assari Dokubo criticizes the Supreme Court for issuing politically motivated judgments, especially regarding defections and power struggles in Rivers State. Assari Dokubo is now appealing to US President Donald Trump and the international community to intervene in Nigeria's crisis. The Ijaw people, whom Assari Dokubo represents, are growing increasingly frustrated with the government's actions, leading to potential uprisings. However, some critics suggest that Nigeria is on the brink of greater instability, with various factions preparing to take drastic actions if the situation worsens. In recent days, an unexpected and emotional development has unfolded in Nigeria that has caught the attention of many. Former critic of the Biafra movement, Asari Dokubo, once known for his unwavering opposition to Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra cause, has now taken a very different stance. In a dramatic public display, Assari Dokubo was seen crying and pleading for support from pro-Biafra groups, an action that marks the first time he has shown such vulnerability. This poignant moment came as he begged international figures, notably former United States President Donald Trump, to intervene in Nigeria's growing crisis. His tearful appeal not only signals a shift in his own political alignment, but also highlights the mounting pressures within the country. The backdrop for this emotional turn is the recent political turmoil that has gripped Rivers State. A Supreme Court ruling on the governance of Rivers State has intensified existing tensions, shaking the foundations of political power in the region. Many view this ruling as politically motivated, and its effects have rippled through the state, leaving both leaders and citizens in a state of uncertainty. Assari Dokubo, who once fiercely opposed Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra movement, now finds himself disillusioned with the very political forces he had once supported. His disappointment is particularly directed at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whom he had backed in the past. Dokubo now feels that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not only let him down, but has also failed Nigeria, a sentiment that has deepened the divide among political factions. The situation in Rivers State is further complicated by actions taken by other key figures, including Governor Wike, whose recent moves alongside President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have added to the confusion and unrest. The Supreme Court's controversial decisions have left many questioning whether the judiciary has overstepped its bounds by intervening in matters that should have been settled at lower levels of government. Asari Dokubo has been vocal in his criticism of these judicial pronouncements, arguing that they have stripped the people of Rivers State of their rights and undermined the authority of their elected leaders. His words carry the weight of someone who feels that the very essence of Nigerian democracy is under threat. Amidst this political turbulence, Nigeria is also grappling with a surge in insecurity. Armed groups have been launching attacks in regions that were once considered safe, causing widespread fear and forcing many to flee their homes. This wave of violence has left communities displaced and deeply unsettled. Religious leaders have joined the chorus of alarm, warning that if key figures like Nnamdi Kanu are not released, the country may face even greater unrest. These warnings have resonated with many Nigerians who feel that the government is not adequately addressing the security challenges that continue to escalate. In the midst of these crises, Assari Dokubo's public display of emotion stands out as both surprising and deeply symbolic. Known in the past for his tough rhetoric and aggressive stance against the Biafra movement, he has now reversed his position by appealing to those same groups he once criticized. His heartfelt plea reflects a sense of betrayal and desperation that seems to have taken root as the political and security situations in Nigeria have deteriorated. This transformation has left many observers wondering whether his change of heart is a calculated move to regain influence or a genuine expression of remorse in the face of overwhelming challenges. The appeal for help from international leaders, such as former United States President Donald Trump, underscores the seriousness of the crisis. Dokubo's call for intervention is rooted in a belief that the internal mechanisms of the Nigerian state have failed to protect its people and uphold justice. His emotional outburst, marked by tears and raw sincerity, is a departure from the strong, unyielding image he once cultivated. It is a moment that not only reflects his personal turmoil, but also serves as a mirror for the broader discontent that is brewing among the people of Rivers State and beyond. For the Ijaw people, who are among those most affected by these developments, the situation is particularly dire. They have long felt marginalized and neglected by government policies, and the recent events have only heightened their sense of injustice. The frustration among the Ijaw community is palpable as they struggle with issues ranging from resource allocation to security, all of which are compounded by what many see as a series of poor political decisions. Asari Dokubo's cry for help, therefore, is not just about his own political survival, but also about addressing the deep-seated grievances that have long festered among his people. Looking at the broader picture, the crisis in Nigeria today is emblematic of a country at a crossroads. The Supreme Court's ruling, which has been widely criticized as overreaching and politically driven, has thrown the country into disarray, leading to questions about the legitimacy of judicial decisions that have far-reaching consequences. The political landscape is now marked by shifting alliances and unexpected reversals, as seen in the case of Assari Dokubo. Once a staunch opponent of the Biafra movement, he is now seeking the very support he once denounced, a transformation that speaks volumes about the unpredictable nature of political loyalties in times of crisis. This unfolding drama is not merely about political power struggles, it is also a deeply human story. It is about a man who has, for the first time, allowed his emotions to be seen by the public, revealing the toll that years of political conflict and personal disillusionment can take. The image of Assari Dokubo crying in public resonates with many, serving as a powerful reminder that behind the rhetoric and political maneuvering lie real human beings grappling with their own vulnerabilities and disappointments. As Nigeria navigates this turbulent period, the call for international intervention and the desperate pleas of figures like Assari Dokubo highlight the urgent need for a comprehensive solution. There is a growing realization that the current path, marked by judicial overreach and unchecked political maneuvering, cannot continue if Nigeria is to avoid descending into chaos.
For the past few days, some strange things are finally happening in Nigeria, which is getting a lot of people to date back to what Nnamdi Kanu have said regarding the Biafra liberation and all of that. Now, Nnamdi Kanu is just like a prophet, and everything that he have said regarding the Nigerian government, everything is finally playing out now. The strange things are finally invading everywhere now. A lot of Nigerians are running etaskata and they're running back to the west of Nnamdi Kanu, even when this man is still in detention. Now, Assari Dokubo have finally come out again. They have finally come out to plea for Trump to intervene because he believes that Tinubu have failed him and Tinubu have failed Nigeria. And now Assari Dokubo is now running back to Biafra. He's calling on Biafrans to come and help him and accept him on the same view. Now you will see for yourself. Assari cried for the first time. Assari have never cried before. You will see things the way it goes. This video will be trending right from time. I'll be trending for the past few hours, so I would like guys to stay connected to the end of the video. If you can share the video, just do what to share it as you're watching it. Share to the person streaming that platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like it. Like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. Just stay connected. I'm coming back again.
Welcome you back to ipob Watch TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with ipob.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to ipob Watch TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, just do what to click the red subscription button appearing on your video screen, and at the same time click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let you to know. Some pastors came out a few days ago and they made a prophecy regarding what is happening right now in Nigeria. A lot of you know what is happening in Nigeria right now. People in Benue cannot stay in their state again. People in Ondo State are now staying outside their house. They can't stay in their house again. A lot of them have run out of farms and all of that due to the Fulani herdsmen. And I say that's not enough. A lot of insurgencies are happening in different areas in Nigeria. And I say that's not enough. They declare state of emergency in Rivers State. Now, Assari Dokubo that we know before is this kind of man that will always come out to speak against Biafra movement. He spoke against Nnamdi Kanu, he spoke against Amenekwa, he bashed them, he attacked all of them. He called them all sort of names. He pulled his support for Tinubu even when Nigerians rose up to protest against Tinubu. Assari came out, he threatened them with guns. He said nobody should protest against Tinubu, but Kasala bought few hours ago. The same Assari Dokubo is now begging Trump to intervene. He said Tinubu have failed him, Tinubu have failed Nigeria. Now Assari Dokubo is apologizing to all Biafrans. He's now calling for the support of Biafrans and is aiming to join Biafrans. Assari cried few hours ago. This man is called the Almighty Assari because he believes he has so much power. But what Tinubu did few hours ago actually got him broken and got him tied up. So Assari is now begging Biafrans. Everybody is dating back to the ways of Nnamdi Kanu now, as if Nnamdi Kanu is a prophet. Everybody is running back to the ways of Nnamdi Kanu now, as everybody is aspiring that Nnamdi Kanu should be released latest March. Assari too is aspiring that they should release Nnamdi Kanu. They should let him go so that he can come as one of the disciples of Nnamdi Kanu. The same Assari that have been bashing Nnamdi Kanu before is finally seeking for the help of Nnamdi Kanu. So I would like us to stay connected to the end of the video. I'll play the full video. You will see the way Assari is begging Trump just to intervene on Tinubu matter at the moment. So if you can share the video, just do what to share it. Share to the social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like the video, like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. You know, a lot of ways, a lot of videos are out there where Assari actually spoke against Nnamdi Kanu. All the things that Nnamdi Kanu said right from time about the Fulani herdsmen, about the Fulani killer herdsmen and all of that, everything is finally playing out now. For the past few days, a lot of insurgencies, a lot of insecurity have been happening. Even the regions to which Fulani have not invaded before, they finally invading it. They're no more invading the northern part again. They now invading the southwest now. They are pushing people in Ondo State. Look at what is ongoing now. The same people that were criticizing Nnamdi Kanu before, that why is Nnamdi Kanu asking for Biafra nation and all of that? Why is it trying to break Nigeria into two? Oh, now the same people are now looking for the attention of Nnamdi Kanu. Now they're going back to the west of Nnamdi Kanu. I see this man is a prophet now. Fulani is invading different states now, pushing a lot of people, sending them away from their farms, and a lot of insurgency is finally happening. You will see things for yourself now. I say that's not enough. Matter on the state of emergency that happens in Rivers State finally hooked Assari on the throne because Tinubu finally come for the head of Assari after giving Assari crown. He came for the head of Assari. Now Assari is seeking for international help. He's seeking for the help of Trump. You will see the way Assari was crying like a baby. You will see things for yourself. So just stay connected to the end of the video. If you can share the video, share it. If you can share it, just like it. Stay connected. See things for yourself. First of all, listen to the prophecy that this new pastor gave regarding what is coming to Tinubu in Aso Rock if he refused to release Nnamdi Kanu. He gave a prophecy without fear. He said if Tinubu did not listen to him, because he knows that Tinubu is a kind of person that will not hear word. He said if Tinubu refused to listen, that the bomb is coming on the head of Tinubu in the Aso Rock there if he refused to release Nnamdi Kanu. He gave the date. Just say things. So if you listen to the pastor in a short clip, you hear everything that Assari said, and you will see how Assari cried thereafter in live TV. Stay connected. I'm coming back again.
I just came to advise our president. No, say no, the year word. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I just came to advise him. Trade with caution. Trade with caution. Trade with caution. Tell the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to trade with caution. Whatever you can do to manage the situation on ground, because the one coming will be bigger than you. When the prophets speak, the wise they listen. If I tell you, thus saith the Lord, you doubt me, you be angry, you be oswo. What is coming to the Aso Rock of Nigeria is bigger than what anybody can ever imagine. Very big, very, very big. So, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should trade with caution. And I want to use this opportunity to tell the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu. Because what I'm seeing is going to come like this. It will come like this. It will come like this. And it will enter, boom! Before they'll be able to trace it like this, trace it and come like this, everywhere just scatter. So the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria should trade with caution, should trade very well with caution, and make sure that as they enter into the month of March, Nnamdi Kanu is released. I know some of the wicked leaders in Igbo land are the ones that are still keeping Nnamdi Kanu, not Tinubu. Tinubu, you have the power as the president to say, let him be released. Release him so that when the battle will come, we will know where the battle follow come. Because right now, the battle is going to come. I'm demonstrating again to come like this, to come like this, to come like this. Boom!
I did a live broadcast on the 12th of December 2023. At the first failed meeting, which was very, very biased, tilted towards supporting Wike, the Minister for Federal Capital Territory. And this video has become, this live broadcast has become viral recently because of the pronouncement of the Supreme Court. I'm not going to call the pronouncement of the Supreme Court a judgment, because there is nothing that the pronouncement of the Supreme Court said that had anything to do with the law in Nigeria. It's a total abuse of the law of Nigeria. Everybody knows, all of us know that the Supreme Court is supposed to be final arbiter. The words of the Supreme Court are final. So the Supreme Court not assume that because their words are final, they will import into these powers that they do not have. Morally depraved decisions that are clearly against the Constitution and the people of Nigeria. We're not just talking about Rivers State. For instance, does the Supreme Court really have jurisdiction to adjudicate on issues concerning local government elections? It's very clear. Local government elections adjudication ends at Court of First Instance, which is the High Court. So where did the Supreme Court derive its power in making pronouncement on elections, post-elections, litigation arising from the elections in Rivers State? Number two, how would the Supreme Court talk about something and adjudicate on a matter that was not before her? Can the Supreme Court go on a flurry of its own to import matters that were not before her and start to make decisions on those matters? The issue of defection was not before the Supreme Court. The issue of defection is still at the High Court. So how did the Supreme Court get those matters into the Supreme Court to make pronouncement on it? Other than that, there were people behind the scene dictating to the Supreme Court what the Supreme Court ought to say. So they have said it. And I think the governor was in a haste to have accepted the judgment.
Asari Dokubo, that would be, if I may, that would be impugning on the integrity of the Supreme Court. So
yes, I am.
No,
the
you
Supreme
can
Court has no integrity in Nigeria.
No, Alhaji, we will not allow you impugn on the integrity of the Supreme Court. So
if the Supreme Court is wrong, if the Supreme Court is now called,
in your words,
the Supreme Court can just decide that you, as the person interviewing me, you should die, and immediately they go and kill you, they hang you, or you are sent to a firing squad because the Supreme Court said so.
That's why the Supreme
final and nobody can talk when there is glaring corruption. Alhaji, in his pronouncement.
Alhaji, yes, I understand what you're saying. I understand what the grievances are. The analogy you gave is not particularly the same. What we're saying is that
the analogy I gave, the same judgment. Was there no same judgment about defection in the case of Plateau State? But 13 or 15 people defected to a different party.
What I'm saying in essence is that you can disagree with the judgment of the Supreme Court, but you have to accept it without impugning on the integrity of the Supreme Court. That's what I'm saying.
I will not accept it. I will not.
This is the Supreme Court we're talking about. So let's move on from. So in addition, now that the Supreme Court has made its decision, and that is the final decision as far as we have now, I want you to speak to the current logjam we have found ourselves. I know there are peripheral issues, undercurrent all over this issue at the end of the day. And you are a stakeholder, you are a traditional ruler now, and there's a lot on the table. Peace in Rivers State is where we're heading to. And you've made allegations as to who is pushing what and all of that. We know all of this. Now, what do you think needs to be done? Because right now, there is grandstanding on both ends.
I think that the Supreme Court had given so much power to one side and had taken the sovereignty of the people of Rivers State away from the people of Rivers State, which was invested on the governor of Rivers State. Having said that, when Yaradua was sick, there was the need, because there was no constitutional provision as to what to do. There was the need for what they called, what did they call that? That they contrived something for the good of the people. The president should come out openly, because the first initiative he took did not work. It is not left for him. It is wrong for the president to come out to say that people should go and obey the judgment of the Supreme Court, the supremacy of the judiciary, when the law does not stand at the law. When the pronouncement of individual becomes the law, then it is dangerous. You are asking people to resort to self-help.
Right.
The president can save the situation by falling back to the doctrine of necessity, by calling both parties to a round table to resolve this logjam. That's the only solution now, because they have added more feathers to the feathers of the wings of Messiah Wike and his followers, to continue with their impunity, to continue. How can the Supreme Court give a judgment that have collective punishment of the people of Rivers State by seizing the allocation of Rivers State? By seizing the allocation of Rivers State. So as long as this crisis continues, the rivers people will not enjoy the benefit of their resources, which is being given to the federal government.
All right.
And part of it is given to them. Will not resolve. Our workers will not be paid. Our doctors will not be paid. Our teachers will not be paid. Nobody will be paid. Who does that? Where can that be done?
In the same token, Alhaji, would you say that Governor Fubara is also wrong for accepting and promising to implement the Supreme Court judgment?
Yes, I said Governor Fubara is very hasty and wrong. This judgment cannot stand the test of time. It cannot.
So what are you calling for?
Cannot stand the test of. It's like apartheid. There are laws. Apartheid made laws that white and blacks cannot pass the same road. They cannot pass the same door. They cannot sit in the same hall. Was it not law? Well, was the Supreme Court of South Africa, or whatever nomenclature it is called, not adjudicating on such laws? When a law is bad, when a law is wrong, when a pronouncement is wrong, it is equivalent on the people to say this is wrong. And I am one of those people who are saying this thing is wrong. These judgments are not judgment based on the Constitution, based on common sense, based on equity, and based on the interest of the people of Nigeria.
So let me follow up with this question, Alhaji. When the Supreme Court affirmed the election of President Bola Tinubu, you celebrated it and you said, well, everybody should end all litigation. So that's the same Supreme Court given a judgment. So what has changed? Is it because it's not favoring you?
If the Asari today says something that is good today, and tomorrow it says something 360-degree bad, we should accept it, because yesterday the Asari said what is good, and today it's saying something 360-degree very, very terrible. We should accept it because he said something good before. The Supreme Court gave judgment on the election. I was on the field in that election, and I saw the election, and I know that Ahmed Bola Tinubu won that election. Even though today I might disagree with his policies, I might disagree, he won that election. And I cannot change from that. Supreme Court has been delivering judgment since it came into insertion in Nigeria. Are we going to say that all the judgment given by the Supreme Court since it came into insertion is bad, just because this particular one is not even a judgment, it's a pronouncement that does not have any basis on the law, on the Constitution, on common sense, on equity, or the interests of the people?
Alhaji, so let's talk about some of the rhetorics we're seeing. And I know that you had released this, the palace had released a statement as to the fact that this, if I read that statement correctly, that this is almost provocative, given some of the things that the minister had said in his media parley. And the reason I'm asking this is because rhetorics have a way of inflaming the politic and the politics itself. So I would like you to speak to some of the things that has been played out right here, and because the issues around the FCT minister said they just, quote and unquote, using my own words now, cannot hold the country to ransom because of threatening to blow up pipelines and all of those things. So I would like you to respond to some of those things he said, as well as what options is on the table right now from where you sit as far as this issue is concerned.
I don't listen to that trainer. I know him. He was my junior in the bus. I know that trainer. I don't listen to him. Most times it's under the influence of substance and all that. So I really don't listen to him.
Alhaji, that's the FCT minister we're talking about here, sir.
Yes, I know him very well. He knows me too. He knows me very well. So most times I've not listened to, I only hear from people, so I hardly comment on what he said because he has never been reasonable. And I feel sad that the political system threw up characters like this and they become colossus and big, mighty giants. Okay. What I'm trying to say is that whatever he says about Ethiopian, it's okay for us. Because some major people were with him, celebrating him after he has said all that. I did not hear it because I'm not listening. Some people have said it before me, but I'm not concerned. The important thing is this. Ijaw people, quick Platata Solo said it. Ijaw people owns the land that these resources are there. And if Ijaw people are threatened, they have the right to defend themselves. We have the right to defend ourselves. We have the right to defend our interests. So whatever anybody says, that is the business of that person. The Ijaws will defend their right, they will defend their interests. The Ijaws must protect their life so that they will survive. Our forefathers handed this legacy to us, and we're going to hand over this same legacy to our own children. It is not Nyeso Wike who will tell Ijaw people how we are going to behave, what we are going to do. It's not Nyeso Wike. He not qualify at all to tell us. So if pipeline pass in our place and somebody threatens us and take our livelihood from us, and we decide that this pipeline, we don't want it on our land, Nyeso Wike cannot stop it. Nobody can stop it. Nobody. We are saying it openly. I am saying it. Nobody can stop Ijaw people from doing what we want to do. They never born that person.
But he also said that the protection of the pipeline, the project or the contract itself, was given to an Ijaw person. So is that going to be a conflict of interest if he or his company is trying to protect the pipeline and the same people are trying to destroy the pipeline?
We have not, we just, when Ijaw takes a decision, then whoever is given anything to do anything fall in line. I don't think an Ijaw man will stand in opposition to the collective interest and survival of Ijaw.
So has a decision been made? Has a decision been given to
when
this pipeline?
I am not today. I was former president of the Ijaw Nation as president of Ijaw Youth Council. That was about 25 years ago. I am not the president of INC. I am not the president of Ijaw Youth Council. I am not the president or chairman of Ijaw Council of Traditional Rulers and Leaders of Thought. They are their chairman. When they call us, I will meet. We have not met. The decision has not been taken. But it's very dangerous. It's very difficult. Look, I know Ijaw people. Ijaw people are the easiest people to mobilize. That's why you are seeing it's just a tip of the iceberg. You are seeing Ijaw demonstrating in Abuja, demonstrating in Warri, demonstrating in Yenegua, demonstrating in Port Harcourt, demonstrating at Abalama and everywhere. Ijaws are rising up. The flame is sparking. And it is better. And some of the Ijaw people, because of the anger, I have heard so many Ijaw people, the anger, women going topless because they are so angry with what they said in the statement he has made, which I have not heard directly, and I'm not interested in hearing it. So even before we take decision, some Ijaw people can decide to act on their own, and that's the most dangerous. That's the most dangerous. That some Ijaw people, they know the fury of Ijaw people and they want to test it. I wish them the best of luck. I pray that this fury does not come.
Alhaji, at the end of the day, we're trying to find a pathway. But let's talk about some of the things that people have been, more like the nuances around. Some people have been saying that the end game is to impeach the governor, and all is being done to that effect. I would like your reaction to that.
My dear brother, make them try now. Just the power, they have the number. Make them try. Make them try. See, this is how we started in the former Western region, Operation Wike. This is how it started in the Western region, little by little. And as somebody who is close to President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who has so much love for President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, I've been crying out. I've been crying out on top of my 6-story building, calling on Ahmed Bola Tinubu that this crying face, this Goliath you have created in Rivers State, the same way that Goliath fell in other realms, this Goliath will be brought down by the people of Rivers State. And if the Goliath is brought down, the consequences of it will be far-reaching. And that's why I am calling on President Bola Tinubu. The ball is in his court. The matter is on his table, and it's a matter of ultimate urgency that he, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, my friend before, should be able to handle this matter and resolve it, and let there be no victor, no vanquished.
Naturally, the question...
I don't know what to say.
Well, the question that naturally jumps out next, Alhaji, you said you love President Bola Tinubu very much. And then you said in the same breath that your friend before. So we're not quite sure what has happened to that relationship. But I want you to speak to an issue of national importance. Maybe you can speak to why someone you love is now your friend before. But a young Nigerian put up a video where she described President Bola Tinubu as terrible, which means bad at his job. Is President Bola Tinubu terrible to you?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can't get the question.
My question is about an issue that is trending nationally now, because you've described President Bola Tinubu as someone you love very much. In the same breath, you said your friend before. So we don't know what happened that broke down. But a young Nigerian described President Bola Tinubu as terrible. Do you agree with her? Do you disagree?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm a Muslim and I'm fasting. This is the month of Ramadan. There's an Egyptian sheikh. He has died long ago, Sheikh Kiski. And he said, when a man becomes a king or wealthy, Satan becomes the chief advisor and best friend. When he wakes up, Satan is standing by his bedside. When he wants to eat, Satan is standing by him. When he's going out, Satan is in front of him. So when leaders go into power, there are certain forces, unseen forces, which I also know. They will be around to give advice. And they will, if you are not careful. And then we're Africans. We know that there are juju, all sort of for everything. They go to pastors, they go to Alpha, they go to Malam, they go to everywhere to call and invoke the name of the person who is in power and to control him. And it's possible. When I say Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who had been my friend since 1992 when we met closely during the campaign for MKO Abiola. We have been in close, constant, and very good relationship, even when he was in exile during the Nadeko era. Now, he came to power, and I was the first person in that December 12 live broadcast. I said, this is the worst government for a job people in the history of Nigeria. And I meant it, and I meant every word of it. And from that time, he has all the power. He's the one who has the power to maintain the relationship that we have. He is president. He has all the paraphernalia of office around him and all this thing. You can't walk into Aso Rock as we used to walk into Bodilon. Now we can't walk into Aso Rock the same way we used to walk in. He has all sorts of people. He's the one that can maintain the friendship more than myself. I can continue. I can't leave Ahmed Bola Tinubu. It's not because I'm afraid of him.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. Now you can hear everything that was said in this very video. You can see everything that pastor said in that very short clip that you just listened to. He said he knows that Tinubu is a kind of person that we never hear word. He said this is what the Lord said, that if Tinubu refused to release Nnamdi Kanu, a bomb is coming on his head in that Asari there. That was what the pastor said. He said it fearlessly, and this particular prophecy have got a lot of people talking. And on the same view, you can see what Assari said. You can see everything that Assari said in this very video. You see, a lot of people have been talking about what is happening in Nigeria, and they be relating it to international bodies. They be relating it to international communities since when Trump gets into power. They be reporting what have been happening in Nigeria to Trump, so that this man can actually see to all the poofing and all the corruption, all the criminalities, the shenanigans, the insurgencies that have been happening in every area in Nigeria. This is not happening in a particular area alone. It's happening everywhere now. Everything that Nnamdi Kanu have been saying regarding the Fulani killer herdsmen, everything is now playing out. Strange things are now happening in Nigeria where the insurgencies have not gotten to before. It's finally getting there. It have never happened in Ondo State before, but it have finally gotten there. The Fulanis are finally poofing their men in the farm and doing forceful entrance on their wives in the farm, and a lot of people are running out of farm. They carry their bodies out of the farm and all of that. People cannot stay in their neighborhood safe and sound again, talk less of going to farm. You can see everything that Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. This is the same cause that Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for that made them to get him arrested. He was fighting for the cause of his people, that the Fulani cannot invade the Igbo land. He said the Fulani cannot be poofing their people in their farm. They can't be poofing the Igbos and all of that. They can never be poofing the Igbo. That was what Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for, and the same cause was what Samanekwa was fighting for. That was why they're saying that Igbo must go, that Biafra must be liberated. That's why they fighting for the Biafra nation. But Assari coming out to bash Nnamdi Kanu during that time, and the same time he called Nnamdi Kanu, insulted him, he called him all sort of names. The same thing he did to Samanekwa, and he did it to a lot of Biafra stakeholders. He insulted them and called them all manner of names. He even said River State is not Biafra now. But finally, Assari finally agreed that River State is part of Biafra now. He said it with his own mouth. Now Assari is seeking for the help of the Biafrans now. He's seeking for the help of the Igbos. He's seeking for the help of everybody, including Nigerians. He's seeking for their help because the Tinubu that Assari have been fighting for with all his life, the Tinubu that Nigerians were protesting against, and Assari was countering their protests with guns and everything, and saying that it is that Tinubu that he wants and all of that. The same Tinubu have come for the head of Assari. Now they've kicked Fubara out of River State as governor, and Wike is trying to get the power back indirectly, and Assari wasn't cool with it because he expects Tinubu to put his support for him. Assari is an Ijoman, Fubara is an Ijoman, so Assari wants Fubara to be there, but Wike is giving Fubara tough time, and Tinubu is backing Wike, and that is why Assari is having issue with Tinubu at the moment. Now, a lot of people are saying that Assari, if he like a cry like baby bush, if he like a cry his head out, that nobody is going to support him, because everybody have wised up and they've understand the fact that Assari only fight for what will benefit him. He never fight for what will benefit the masses. He can use the masses, he can manipulate the masses to get what he wants for himself. But once he get what he wants for himself, if the masses like the poofing on hunger, everything, it does not concern him. So obviously, Assari is a kind of man that is very, very selfish, and he always fight for his own pocket. And the moment he's seeing that the thing that he's fighting for is not entering his pocket, that is when he will come out to cry out. He will come out to beg the people. He will come out to manipulate the people, and many of the people will follow him without using their head. That's what is happening, and the same thing is what is playing out as far as Rivers is concerned right now, because they declare state of emergency. That you can see the question that the journalist was actually asking Assari in this very video that I just finished watching. You can see all the questions, but Assari couldn't provide a reasonable answer, because all the atrocities that he have committed, everything that he have said against Nnamdi Kanu before, they using everything to ask him question, which he couldn't attend to. Now he's looking for the face of Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody is now aspiring that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Before, when they arrested Nnamdi Kanu, a lot of people were saying that he should remain in custody till he poof and all of that. But now, when everything that Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for, when everything that he was saying then about the Fulani, when everything began to play out, and the Fulani are occupying everywhere in Nigeria at the moment, a lot of people are now running back to Nnamdi Kanu. They're running back to him, and they're calling him prophet now, that is God sent. You can see what is happening. You can see what Nigerians are doing.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.